Skinner, and this is the Rob Skinner podcast. Today, we're talking about the two loves that can change your life: your love for God and your love for the person right in front of you. All this and more on the Rob Skinner podcast. Thanks for joining me on the Rob Skinner podcast. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. I remember as a young Christian, I would go to church and always enjoyed it. Tom Brown, a guy named Tom Brown was the preacher, and he was an amazing preacher. I mean, he just blew it out every Sunday. I had goosebumps whenever I heard the guy preach, just a booming voice. But even more than the voice was when I would go talk to him and just ask him about his lesson and just respond to his lesson. It blew me away because there'd be a crowd of people around wanting to talk to him because he was so dynamic and charismatic. But when he locked in and he talked to me, I felt like I was the only person in the room. Now, I was like a 20-year-old college student. I had my Chuck Taylors on and everything, but that guy made me feel like $1,000,000. And I remember thinking, I want to be that way toward people. And I have a series of quotes and scriptures that I really go back to almost on a daily basis. And there's a simple but powerful quote that's really stayed with me over the years. It's from a book by Jimmy Carter called Living Faith. And he quotes a missionary, Eloy Cruz, whom he went door knocking with. And Jimmy Carter was really blown away because this younger man was so good with people and made people feel so special. And now this is a president talking. It's really amazing that he was door knocking after he became a Christian. You got to give him some props for that. That's pretty impressive. But he was so impressed by this young man and his love for people. And so he asked him his advice, like, how do you do that? Where's that come from? What's your secret, basically? And when he told the ex-president, he said, you only have to have two loves in your life: for God and for the person in front of you at any given time or any particular time. That's it. Two loves. If we can get these two things right, we'd fulfill almost everything Jesus ever asked of us or taught us. In 1 John chapter 4, verse 19, it says, we love because he first loved us. Whoever claims to love God, yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. For whoever does not love their brother and sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. And he's given us this command: anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. John reminds us that our love for God is proven by how we love people just right in front of us. It's easy to say, I love God, but the real test is how we treat the barista, the coworker, the roommate, or the family member, or just people at church. I mean, how many times have you been at church and you're talking to someone, but you're really thinking about the person that you really need to talk to in the fellowship? You're looking over the shoulder. You're trying not to do it, but you're glancing over their shoulder and you're scanning the fellowship while you're talking to this person. And guess what? They notice it. They feel it. They feel the lack of love. You express that love by the attention you give people in the moment. And so oftentimes we feel like we're being efficient. We feel like we're multitasking, but actually we're being unloving toward people. And people absolutely can sense it. You can sense it when people are making you feel like not the real priority. And you can also feel it when you're giving someone your full attention. And so that happens quite often in our lives when people rub us the wrong way. And when this young man, Eloy Cruz, said you only need two loves for God and for the person in front of you, he was really saying you can't love people in general if you don't love the person right now in front of you in particular. Loving God fuels our capacity to love other people, and loving others proves our devotion to God. It's a loop of grace. Every interaction becomes a chance to just show God's heart. So you don't need a microphone, you don't need a stage, you don't need a book to make a difference for Jesus. You just need eyes to see the person who's right in front of you today, and a heart that says, God, help me love them like you love me. So let me leave you the challenge today. Who's in front of you today that needs to feel God's love through you? Maybe it's someone at work who's lonely. Maybe it's your spouse, your child, or the person who serves your coffee. Just take a break, slow down, look them in the eyes, listen deeply to what they're saying, engage, smile, nod, encourage. You don't have to fix all their problems. You're not going to do that, but just make them feel seen, listened to, and valued. That's what ex Christians do. They multiply God's love one person at a time. Thanks for listening to the Rob Skinner podcast. If this has encouraged you, I hope that you'll share it with a friend and subscribe. And remember, you only need two loves in your life, for God and for the person in front of you at any particular time. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, to make this life count, and to multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. Have a great day and make this life count.